JBNN keep you informed. I'm Michelle Jones, and in the news, multi-million-dollar gas station heist in Gutters, St. Catherine. 4 men held up an octogenarian and pulled off a multi-million-dollar robbery of a gas station in Gutters in Old Harbour, St. Catherine on Saturday morning. Reports are that about 5:30 a.m., the 8-year-old operator of the business and an employee had just opened up the office at the Bud's gas station when men forced their way inside the building. They then robbed the establishment at gunpoint and escaped in a waiting motor car. There are unconfirmed rumors that over $24 million was stolen. $1 million stolen from St. Elizabeth remittance outlet. Thieves broke into a MoneyGram outlet in Santa Cruz, St. Elizabeth, Saturday morning and made off with $1 million. The proprietor reported detecting strange sounds via closed-circuit television cameras about 2:45 and called the police. A patrol team went to the location on Coke Drive, where 2 holes were seen in a wall leading to the MoneyGram office. A check was conducted and it was discovered that the money had been stolen. It is the latest in a string of major money heists across the island. On Thursday, gunmen stole more than $8 million after they held up and robbed the remittance outlet on Manchester Road, Mandeville, in the neighbouring parish of Manchester. Reports were that about 9:30 a.m., the gunmen entered the remittance centre and demanded cash. They then escaped with the money. A video of the incident had gone viral on social media. Man killed at karaoke in Clarendon. Patrons at a karaoke in Denby, Clarendon, at a scamper for cover Friday night after gunmen opened fire at the event. At the end of the shooting, 1 man was shot and killed. The dead man has been identified as 30-year-old Roger Edwards from the community. It was reported that around 11:30 p.m., Edwards and several other patrons were at the karaoke, which was being held on Douglas Driving Racetrack, Denby. Police reported that he was pounced upon by men armed with handguns, who opened fire, hitting him several times to the head and upper body, killing him on the spot. The police were called and found Edwards lying face down along a dirt road in a pool of blood with multiple gunshot wounds. The scene was processed and 7 9mm spent casings found. He was taken to the Mapen Hospital where he was pronounced dead and later transported to the morgue. No motive has been established for the attack. 79-year-old man chops and kills 72-year-old wife in Bog Walk. A 79-year-old man chopped and killed his 72-year-old wife during a dispute in Bog Walk, St. Catherine on Saturday morning. The deceased has been identified as Yvette MacDonald, a 72-year-old retired nurse of Azar Lane in Bog Walk. It is understood that the incident occurred about 2 a.m. at the couple's home. Head of the St. Catherine North Police, Superintendent Howard Chambers, confirmed the incident but could not immediately provide further details. Homeless man killed in Port Antonio. Portland recorded his 4th murder on Saturday, following the stabbing death of a man who is believed to be of unsound mind on West Street in Port Antonio. Police sources confirmed that the man, known as Lee Donald, was murdered. Investigators say he was living on the streets and was probably killed between the hours of 3 a.m. and 4:30 a.m. on Saturday. They further stated that the man's body had what appeared to be stab wounds to the neck and was on its back. In March, local government minister Desmond McKenzie stated that funds were available to construct a drop-in center for street people and urged the Portland Municipal Corporation to identify lands for its construction. Of the 4 murders committed in the Portland Police Division since the start of 2023, 2 victims are believed to have been of unsound mind. Man fatally shot by police in Jones Avenue in Spanish Town. A man was shot and killed in an alleged police shootout in Jones Avenue, Spanish Town, St. Catherine on Friday. The police say a team went to the community to carry out an intelligence-driven operation in search of guns and criminals. According to the police, while in the area, the cops came under attack and the fire was returned. After the shooting subsided, the man was found suffering from gunshot wounds. The police say a gun was seized. The injured man was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. Man gunned down in Crossroads. A man was shot dead on Retirement Crescent in Crossroads, St. Andrew on Saturday morning, police have confirmed. The man was only being identified as GC from Retirement Crescent, Kingston 5. Information received is that residents heard explosions around 4:55 a.m., stumbled on the body of the now deceased about 5:40 a.m. and called the police. On arrival of the police, the body of GC was seen lying face down with gunshot wounds. It was clad only in a brown plaid underpants. More than 10 spent casings were found at the scene. 5 injured in early morning St. James crash. 5 individuals have been taken to hospital. following a motor vehicle collision on the Lilliput Main Road in St. James early Saturday morning. According to reports, just before 6 a.m., two cars were traveling in opposite directions when they collided. The impact of the collision forced both vehicles off the roadway. One car, a Nissan Lafesta, had 4 occupants, while the other, a Toyota Isis, only had the driver. The fire brigade was called in and had to carry out extrication measures on the Lafesta as a passenger was trapped by the wreckage. The passenger, a female, is said to have suffered a number of cuts and broken bones during the ordeal. The other individuals had various injuries as well. Ambulances were used to transport the injured to hospital. St. James Police seized another gun. The St. James Police have rid the streets of Montego Bay of another illegal gun. A Glock pistol with a magazine containing 1 cartridge was recovered in Campbell Lane, Mount Salem on Friday. It was discovered after a shootout between gunmen in Campbell Lane. Lawmen investigating the shooting found the gun in a yard while conducting a search of the area. No arrest was made in connection with the find. The seizure followed another on Thursday, in which a pistol was recovered during a police operation in Bogue Hill. The police are searching for Damian Brown, also known as 90, and a man known only as Bones of New Ramble, Bogue, when the gun was found hidden in an old refrigerator. One in custody following gun and ammo seizure in St. Catherine. A man is in custody following the seizure of a gun during a police operation in Mickleton Meadows, Linstead in St. Catherine on Friday. Reports from the Linstead police are that about 4:40 a.m., lawmen in the area when a search of a premises occupied by the man was conducted. A Toyota Noah that is believed to belong to the man was also searched, and one 9mm SCCY CPX-1 pistol with a magazine containing 11 rounds of ammunition was seized. It was subsequently taken into custody. Its identity has been withheld pending further investigation. Murder suspect among 6 arrested in Manchester. The Manchester police are reporting that 6 men, including a murder suspect, were arrested in separate early morning operations in northeast Manchester on Saturday. A police source said that about 3:05 a.m., 5 men were arrested after a roadblock was mounted on the Devon Main Road where a Toyota Probox motorcar was intercepted. 6 men were aboard the car. 1 eluded the police, but the other 5 were held and found with housebreaking implements including a crowbar, cash, cigarettes, liquor, and parts from poker boxes. Further investigation led the police to an area where 2 poker boxes were recovered, said the source. Police suspect that the men were involved in burglaries, targeting bars and houses in Manchester. The men are said to be from Leeds in St. Elizabeth, Georges Valley, Greenvale and Colleyville in Manchester. In a second operation hours later in Chudley, a suspect was arrested in relation to the April 10 murder of Anthony Williams, 51, a farmer and resident of Chudley housing scheme. A police report said about 11:30 p.m., Williams was walking home in the scheme when he was pounced by a gunman who opened fire, hitting him. Bench warrant issued for dog owner in Treasure Beach. A bench warrant was issued and stayed for a female dog owner whose animals attacked a 77-year-old American visitor in Treasure Beach, St. Elizabeth on March 11. Sharon Martini of Treasure Beach is scheduled to appear in the St. Elizabeth Parish Court on May 10. It was reported that the woman was walking along the beach when she was attacked by a pack of dogs. She received several wounds to her back and leg before being rescued by passers-by. A report was made to the Pedro Plains Police and it was confirmed that the dogs belonged to Martini. According to a source, Martini had been warned on several previous occasions to prevent the dogs from straying and attacking people. When the matter was called up in court on Wednesday, the court was informed that the wounded woman had received treatment locally and left Jamaica to continue treatment overseas. The presiding judge ordered the arrest of Martini, who was not present in court. 5 St. Catherine men listed as wanted. The St. Catherine North Police have listed 5 men as wanted for several crimes committed across the division. Being sought are D. Norman, otherwise called Marks, of Berwick District in Bogwalk and Above Rocks District, both in St. Catherine. Norman is wanted for murder. Arrest Duane of Pusey District in Point Hill, St. Catherine. Duane is wanted for rape and grievous sexual assault. Junior Brown of Springvale District in Bogwalk, St. Catherine, and Greendale, Manchester, is wanted for murder. Brian King, otherwise called Marlon King, of Fletcher Landing, Kitson Town, St. Catherine. King is wanted for shooting with intent. And Oswald Kelly of Cedar Place, Spanish Town in St. Catherine. Kelly is wanted for possession of forged documents and unlawful possession of property. The men are being asked by the police to turn themselves in. Persons are also being reminded that it is a crime to harbor a fugitive. Another separate fraud case person of interest arrested. The police are reporting that an additional person of interest in the multi-million-dollar fraud investigation at the separate group of companies has been arrested. The police say Ramon Bailey was apprehended during an intelligence-led operation on Friday at his current place of employment in Kingston. Bailey was one of several people named by DCP Fitz Bailey as a person of interest in connection with the continuing fraud investigation. On Thursday, the police said 17 employees attached to Facey Commodity Limited was arrested in the $160 million scam. 14 of those arrested have since been charged with embezzlement, conspiracy to defraud, access with intent to commit or facilitate the commission of an offense, engaging in a transaction that involves criminal property, and breaches of the Proceeds of Crime Act, POCA. The police are appealing to anyone with information that may be relevant to this case to come forward. The other persons of interest in the matter are being asked to immediately surrender to the police. It will become your worst nightmare, says PM. Against the backdrop of recent crimes in Manchester, including an $8 million heist, Prime Minister Andrew Holness says he's concerned and announced that the police have assured that more resources are being deployed in Manchester.
How concerned I am in recent times of Manchester featuring in the crime statistics in the way that it has featured, particularly as it relates to acquisitory crimes. The police have been working over time here to try and bring the problem under control. I've had very long conversations with the Commissioner of Police about this challenge here, and I've been assured that resources have been mobilized to treat with the problem. I take heart, however, in the fact that the brazen crimes that have been committed targeting our security industry, the armored vehicle cash delivery segment of the industry, that those brazen crimes have not gone unsolved. Just today, it was announced that another suspect has been held, and the police have dramatically improved their investigative and intelligence gathering capabilities. So I will say to those criminals who feel that they are going to benefit from the robbery, that is not going to be the case. It will become your worst nightmare. The police have been very strategic. They don't always say what they're doing, but I know what they're doing. And they're going to find you one by one, and you will be brought before the justice system of the country. So, you know, as I always say, they're going to get right out.
Less than an hour after the Prime Minister's address, the Manchester Police announced a 2-day curfew in 5 communities. The curfew started at 6 p.m. on Friday and is set to end at 6 p.m. on Sunday. Among the communities under curfew are Old England, Mayday, Richmond, Georges Valley and New Hall. Based on the recent spate of violent crimes in Old England, Mayday, Richmond, Georges Valley and New Hall and its environs, the division's intelligence and investigative arms have conducted investigation and surveillance in the above-mentioned area, said a police source. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.